trapping squirrels. You're fired.
Chief, the planetarium party.
Oh, right. You're unfired. I need you. Come here.
You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you. Not listening. Not listening.
I shot him 6 times. I shot him in the heart. This guy, this man, he's not human.
You think you could steal from us and just walk away?
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Get a Load of This Movie, a franchise movie podcast. And we are just a podcast that talks about movies that are part of a franchise, believe it or not. I know you can't really get that from our name, movie franchise podcast, but that is what we are doing. And guess what, Cole? We're doing that again today. We are talking about a movie that is a part of a franchise. And this isn't the first time we've done it. We've been doing it a while, believe it or not.
How long? How long have we been doing it?
Oh, gosh. If I had a nickel for every time someone asked me how long I've been talking about movie franchise on a podcast, I wouldn't have a lot, but I'd have some, and that'd be nice. We are talking about Spider-Man, Tobey McGuire's Spider-Man, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2002. We are talking about the original. Is it the original? I think there might have been a show. Anyway, we were talking about the 2000,
like the 70s, 80s.
But this is the first Spider-Man movie, is that correct?
Yes. This is
okay.
the first
I'm sorry.
Spider-Man movie.
I should have looked that up. I didn't mean to. Anyway, we are talking about Spider-Man 2002, directed by Sam Raimi, starring Tobey McGuire. So I'm excited to talk about it. I didn't really come with anything for the trailers, like a go-around question. I know sometimes, Cole, you do. You didn't text us anything in the group chat, so we are ill-prepared if you did have something you wanted to talk about. Zach, did you have anything you wanted to talk about? You usually don't text in the group chat if you have something. You like to surprise us most times. I like to surprise you guys too. Cole's the only one that's kind enough
it's
to prepare.
kind of how I keep you guys on, like, keep you on your toes and also just make you guys seem less prepared and kind of keep the power where it should be in this dynamic.
Really got to put the others down.
I did come with something, but it's not something that you guys have to participate in the sense that I decided for these 3 Sam Raimi Spider-Man episodes,
An announcement.
Well, not quite. Well, I mean, I guess so. Get your hopes a bit lower. There are 3 Sam Raimi movies I have not seen. And I looked at the filmography. Well, technically 4, but one of them is like one that people just shove aside because it was just like his second movie ever made, and it was like just made literally no impact. It just was a mess. Maybe I'll check it out, but it's not really, doesn't really get noticed much. That one's called Crime Wave. But the 3 that I had not seen that were, major studio films, The Gift, which came out right before this, actually. What's that other one? The Quick and the Dead, the Western movie he did with Leonardo DiCaprio and Gene Hackman and Sharon Stone. And then Darkman, I have not seen, which is a Liam Neeson movie.
Darkman
so
looks fun.
I'm working backwards. They're all 90s movies. Well, I guess The Gift is 2000, but I'm working backwards. And I watched The Gift last night to give it a bit of a. This was like the most recent movie he made before Spider-Man.
Oh.
It's I'm not gonna call it a horror movie. It's more of like a supernatural thriller about Kate Blanchett's like a medium in this like southern bayou town, and she can kind of see people's futures, whatever, and people come and get palm readings and just psychological, spiritual help from her, whatever. And it just becomes a murder mystery when someone close to her, or around her, I should say, dies, and they don't know who did it. Keanu Reeves is in it, and it is the only time I've seen him play a bad guy.
Whoa,
I don't know. I'm sure it's not the only
spoilers.
time he has. Well, no, trust me, that's not a spoiler. It's a within the first 10 minutes that this guy's like an asshole.
You spoiled it for Corey. He can never watch it now.
Yeah, taking it off my list. I see J.K. Simmons.
Yes, he is. J.K. Simmons is also in it.
I see
yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton wrote it.
Yes, Billy Bob Thornton wrote it, which is, a bit odd. But the Sam Raimi connection with Billy Bob Thornton is that they did the movie Simple Plan.
Sling Blade. He wrote the movie Sling Blade and won an Oscar for it.
Right. Well, I know I'm not saying that he got this role because of Sam Raimi. I'm just saying that this is their second collaboration in a row, given that Billy Bob Thornton was in Simple Plan, which is Sam Raimi's movie before this, which is a very good movie. Yes. This movie also has Rosemary Harris, who is Aunt May, in one scene in this movie. And, I was just trying to watch it and, like, kind of... I think it just kind of overstays its welcome, this movie. The script kind of meanders a bit. It's a little bit predictable towards the end. But it does kind of have some of the Raimi-isms that you see a lot. And, like, he kind of... The most Raimi movies are, like, the Evil Dead movies are really kind of what his style kind of became from there on out. But it's got a few of those, like that you can still see in the Spider-Man movies. But in this, it has, like, a lot of, like, fade in, fade out transitions between scenes and, like, kind of quick turnaround jump scares, some eerie violins. And this is kind of a fiddler guy kind of plays a weird kind of eerie violin thing. That's a kind of an odd scene. But yeah, like you said, J.K. Simmons and Rosemary Harris. But I gave it a 3 out of 5. It's not great. I think it's more of a script issue than a direction issue. So I'm going to put the blame on Billy Bob for that one. But that's what I watched this week for my unseen Sam Raimi movie. Next week, I'm going to work backwards. So next week, or next episode, I will have watched The Quick and the Dead, the mid-90s Western. And then I'll watch Darkman before Spider-Man 3. So that's my plan.
You know what? I also have not seen 4 Sam Raimi movies. So...
How about you? I can think of 3 I would love for you to watch. That would be...
I've seen... I think actually, I may have only seen 4 Sam Raimi movies now.
Are they
Can I guess?
The 4 superhero films?
I'm guessing all 3 of these. Oh, damn. I was going to guess for the love of the game. I didn't know if Corey actually saw Multiverse of Madness.
What is it?
Multiverse of Madness.
Yes, that's right. Those are the only 4 I've seen. I have not seen For the Love of the Game. But Netflix does keep tempting me. It knows I just can't get enough of Kevin Costner.
Don't remember loving that one. That's one of the ones that I haven't seen in a while. Like I saw that once, maybe 10 years ago, maybe a little less, and then I haven't seen Oz the Great and Powerful since theaters either. Not in a rush to rewatch either one of those, but
yeah.
So
maybe
I actually watched Oz the Great and Powerful after Wicked because I was just on this like, hey, I'm gonna rewatch Wizard of Oz, Oz the Great and Powerful kind of mindset. I don't know if they just cut his budget, but the background VFX are Robert Rodriguez-esque in a lot of scenes.
Like Spike, you're like talking about like Spy Kids, Shark Boy, Lava Girl, Robert Rodriguez.
I don't know what happened. Maybe it was a studio thing, but seriously, the effects are bad. Which I think the movie kind of depends on because they didn't build the sets. So it's not like this movie where Spider-Man's walking through fire and we know there's actual fire and this is an actual set that they built. But yeah, I think I
hate real sets.
I love real sets. I like watching shit get blown up.
Not me. Not me. Well, that's exciting. I can't wait to keep up with that. And maybe at the end, you could do your Spider-Man and a full Sam Raimi rankings. Something to look forward to.
I would love the chance to do a full Sam Raimi rankings, though that would spoil my Evil Dead rankings if we ever did Evil Dead. But
then we can't.
I think that's okay.
Actually, this maybe not because I could literally just omit those and just tell you that I really do think there's a good chance my top 3 Sam Raimi movies are the 3 Evil Deads. So I could do my top Sam Raimi movies that aren't
minus
his
Evil
3
Dead?
Evil Deads. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that then. Something to look forward to for our audience and for myself. Okay. Well,
for myself.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Sorry. God, I can't be a fan.
Thank you.
Well, if we've got nothing else, let's just get into it and let's just enjoy what everyone has known or come to love, the call sheet.
I'm gonna cut this part out, and you can cut it out of the video thing. I was not gonna say this during that part. Katie Holmes, you know who Katie Holmes is, right?
Rachel
She's Rachel in the first in Batman Begins. She's Rachel in Batman Begins. That Rachel.
Rachel.
She's so 4 years younger in The Gift, by the way, than that. And let me tell you, there is a nude scene that is like I gasped. It is like it's like the most like perfect boobs I've ever seen. I was like, oh my god, it was
Were you
insane.
watching this
Unfortunately,
on FaceTime with Madeline?
No,
No, it wasn't.
She always says cover your eyes during those parts.
She says that?
Yeah.
You can't look at these boobs.
Boobs.
I go like this. I go.
Wait, do that one more again. I'm gonna clip that off, and that's gonna be the cover.
Wait.
Cole, make a face. Okay, you're good. I don't know how we're gonna fit that into Spider-Man theme, but I'm going to.
You could put the goblin mask on top of me and make that like my eyes underneath, like the way his eyes.
The yellow eyes.
Those eyes.
The yellow. Anyway, let's get into the call sheet, guys. I have a little bit of a different game. Still a simple game. Nothing for Zach to be too upset about. Cole, you might be a little upset about this because.
Better.
You had to have paid attention to the movie, and I know how you just hate those games, man.
I do hate those games, man.
Yeah.
Even though I
this
won the Back to the Future series.
You did. Congratulations.
So it's about taking series. It's not the overall record. It's about taking series.
it's a series that we can. That's the real record. Okay?
You took the back. We only played one game.
Hey,
you just won the one.
A win is a win. A win is a win.
They don't ask how, they ask how many. Yes. But I think I thought of this. I don't know if you can keep this in the episode or not. But next season of our show,
there's going to be a season 3?
I'm going to do
This is 3.
a carryover. I'm going to do a carryover. So, like, it's going to be like one big question. We're going to talk about it. It's going to relate to the movie. And then at the end of the year, it's going to be like, who has more points? You know, it's going to be kind of a thought-provoking question so we can tie this more into the movie and have like a conversation around the question as well. You know, that's my goal. So I'm just getting a little teaser there. So that's what it's going to be instead of these fun, like little things that we move on. So it's going to be a full season. So I don't know how many episodes we do a season, but that's how many points there are going to be available. Anyway, the game today is called Who Said That?
Who did?
Who said that?
Cole, you're just so cooked. I'm so good at this.
I know. I also did not have a ton of time, and this is a fun game to write down because I just like if I like a quote or if I giggle at
I love
offline,
every quote in this movie. So
I write it down. So that's how I got this one. I started off easy and I get harder. Okay, so for this, you guys are just gonna text me the answers, and then when I have an answer from each of you, I'll move on to the next one. Are you guys both ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Here is your first quote. You know who I am. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Okay. Who said that? I start easy. Okay, I have an answer from each of you.
Cute scene. I love that scene.
Cute. We'll get into it. Quote number 2.
Oh, did you pick up on something there?
Quote number 2. What about Green Meanie? Who said that? I need a name. If neither of you guys give a name.
This is a big jump from the first one in terms of difficulty. Because I know the scene, but there's like 3 people in there.
Who said that?
You need a name, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Who cares what I want? Shut up.
Okay, moving on. I have an answer from each of you. On to question number 3. I said, he asked me what I thought about you. Who said that? Who said that? I said, he asked me what I thought about you. I'm trying to do an impersonation of the line as best I can.
You just nailed it, buddy.
I have an answer from each of you. Moving on. We have a few more. Question number 4. I'm struggling to keep track. Question number 4. Hey, freak show, you're going nowhere. I need a name. I need a name.
You did not do an impression of that one.
I need a name. I have a name from each of you.
Show. I got you for 3 minutes.
You're going
3
nowhere. All brilliant men are. All brilliant men are. I need an answer from each of you. I need a name.
Back to formula.
Back to formula.
Guys, we have a tie. And neither of you got it perfect.
Fuck.
Right, because that second one was...
And both you guys got different ones incorrect.
Oh.
So, kind of fun. But so that means we need the bonus. Do you want me to go through the actually? We're just going to move on to the bonus. I'm going to go through. I'm going to go through it, and we're going to answer this one. Actually, no. Let's go through them. Let's go through them, and then I'll do the bonus. So, question number 1. You know who I am. I'm your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Who said that? You guys both got it correct.
Peter Parker.
Peter Parker / Spider-Man. That is correct. Point for each of you. Ding. What about Green Meanie?
I guess.
Cole, who did you write down?
I guess.
Zach, who did you write down?
J. Jameson.
That is incorrect, Zach. Cole, that is a point for you. You are up 2-1.
It's his
question
brother,
number...
right? Like Sam Raimi's brother? I just didn't know his character.
Is that Sam Raimi's brother?
That's not
I know that.
Ivan. I think that's Ted. I think it's
Yeah,
Ted
it's Ted.
Raimi.
I'm not familiar enough with the Raimi family.
Ivan is in the second one, though, I think.
Oh, look at this. I
think
love
Ivan
working
wrote
with...
this.
Question number 3. I said, he asked me what I thought about you. You guys both got this one correct. Zach, who did you say?
Peter?
That is correct. On to question number 4. Hey, freak show, you're going nowhere. Cole, you guys both got this correct.
McGraw.
Bonesaw McGraw is correct. Question number 5. All brilliant men are. Zach, who did you write down for this?
Aunt May.
Cole, who did you write down for this?
I wrote down Norman. I'm wrong.
You did. You are incorrect. Zach is correct. So that brings you guys tied. So we're going into the bonus round tied. And the bonus round, it is not a closest to the pin. It is not a number. But it's along the same lines. After Peter Parker, who was the first character to have a line in the movie?
Are we talking extra or...
Who was the first character?
It's the girl on the bus, and she's supposed to be Liz Allen, I think.
No, incorrect. Zach, who did you say?
Mary Jane.
Cole, who did you say?
Liz Allen, the girl on the bus.
It was Mary Jane is the answer I had.
She goes like, stop the bus. He's been chasing after us since blah, 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 or whatever.
So, Cole, I'm sorry. You did much better. But Zach still takes the cake on this one. Zach, congratulations for taking the first game. But the series is still wide open. And
I'm going
really
for the
what matters.
Series win on Spider-Man 2.
Oh, go over the series win on Spider-Man 2. Cole, you know what that means? You are going to be able to use your special token next game. If you do not use it, you lose it. I'm done having it. So that's what it is.
I get all
on
of
to
It's welfare for movie franchise podcast games.
on to the action.
Okay, we ready for a summary? Peter Parker is a nerd. During a school trip to a Columbia University lab, Peter meets his best friend Harry's dad, Norman Osborn, and is bitten by a genetically modified spider while he ogles Mary Jane Watson. Harry's father, Norman Osborn, tests a performance-enhancing chemical on himself, which drives him insane, changes his teeth, and leads him to kill his colleague, Dr. Strom. Peter discovers big changes, including strength, agility, webbing, wall climbing, and enters a wrestling match to earn money. After being cheated, he lets a thief escape because it's not his problem. The thief later kills Uncle Ben. Motivated by guilt and desire to fight crime, Peter becomes Spider-Man, draws the attention of Lucy Lawless, and begins capturing criminals while working as a freelance photographer for the Daily Bugle. Norman, now the Green Goblin, unalives Oscorp's board at the Unity Festival after they tried to sell the company, and after all he's sacrificed, no less. Spider-Man saves Mary Jane, and the media dubs Norman the Green Goblin. Norman tries to recruit Peter, but Peter refuses. Norman then deduces Peter's identity at a Thanksgiving dinner while telling his son to hump and dump Mary Jane. I was watching that and I was like, dear God, they really put that in the movie. I completely forgot about that moment.
Not great.
The Goblin attacks Aunt May while she finishes her prayers and later kidnaps Mary Jane and a group of children, forcing Spider-Man to choose who to save. Spider-Man saves them all and battles Norman, who fatally impales himself by his own glider while trying to kill Peter. Before dying, Norman begs Peter to not tell Harry. Peter delivers Norman's body to the Osborn home, where Harry assumes the worst and pulls a gun on him. At Norman's funeral, Harry vows vengeance on Spider-Man. Mary Jane confesses her love, but Peter fumbles the bag to protect her and ends the movie looking at Ben's tombstone. Then, Chad Kroeger kicks in.
He doesn't really fumble the bag. He sets the bag down. He says, I can't take this bag. Thank you, but no thank you. That's what he says. Fumbling the bag would be like, I would love to touch your butt. And then she's like, oh, maybe not. You know, and then she walks away. And he's like, oh, I had it. She said she loved me. That would be brutal. I had an initial comment.
Okay. Let's hear
Yeah. Go right ahead.
This movie gets moving. The pace of this movie really, really surprised me. I was honestly, the way I remembered it, because I can't remember the last time I watched it. It's been a few years at least. And it starts off, and within 15 minutes, I think, you get Peter. And with like 5 minutes later, maybe not even, I can't remember who comes first. But, yeah, I mean, you're getting Norman and Peter with powers very, very early on. And then they are out of high school way, like, before the movie is halfway over. And they're, like, into adulthood. Like, they are out of, like, this movie, it really moves fast. And I could have sworn that there was more time spent in high school. There was more time spent when they were younger. There was more time spent before Peter had powers. And I don't know, I don't remember why. Maybe it was more movies around this time were doing that, and so that's kind of I just remembered it incorrectly. But this movie has a very fast pacing, and I don't think that even stops in the first half. After that, like, you see he gets a job really fast. He gets all, like, he's starting to save the city. His suit comes together really fast, and a lot of that stuff I think we look at in movies today, like superhero movies specifically. I think we should focus on superhero movies because that's like trying to do more of a one-to-one comparison. When worrying about the suit, I feel like, or worrying about the action, or worrying about like other things outside of it, I feel like a lot of movies spend a decent amount of time trying to develop that part, and they lose sight of what audiences are actually interested, which is like the characters, which is making sure that they're fun, like they're likable, and you want to be around them. They worry too much about the logistics of the movie, like how did they get this suit, how did they get this job, how, like, all this kind of stuff, you know. And I feel like that it's sometimes worrying about the wrong things. And here I feel like the liberties they take, and him all of a sudden like drawing a suit and then all of a sudden having a suit was enough of a montage and enough of like, okay, he worked on it. He started with this and then he tried a few things and then he ended up with something. That was enough for me to be like, okay, I buy it. I don't need much more, you know? And it's just really interesting to compare that to movies that we see today, or superhero movies that we see today, because usually that process is slower, and sometimes we won't get that like final look or that really cool superhero look until towards the end. You might have that hero use or save the day with his like that original really cheap costume. I'm latching on to the superhero suit, but that's just, I mean, that's the most like kind of uniform throughout all movies. But I think it fits for all of them, even the villain. Did you guys find the pacing? What did you guys think of the pacing overall in this movie compared to other superhero movies?
I literally wrote that down, Corey, is that it nails origin story pacing. It's just so much better than so many subsequent superhero movies do with how long they kind of take there. I mean, I wrote down he's bit by this spider in the first 10 minutes of this movie.
Love that.
Amped. Yeah. And he's already met the villain at that point, and we've established his love interest all there. We know who his best friend is, and we have a sense of their relationship. And we have a sense of the best friend's relationship with his dad and his relationship with this girl and his place in school standing by the butt. We have all of that in 10 minutes. You know, like that is. And
then you don't really need to spend too much time on that later on because you already started that process, and so you don't have to like, I don't know. Yeah.
You can sacrifice that, and you can speed it up to introduce these characters for what we get, which this movie does phenomenally, which is character building. Like, we get to know these characters incredibly well throughout the movie. I was watching this thing, and it's like Harry's kind of motivation. Immediately, as you point out, within the first 10 minutes, we see Harry's dad meet Peter. Peter meets the villain, and the villain connects more with him than he does his own son. So naturally, Harry also sees Peter ogling Mary Jane all the time. So in his mind, it's like, hey, I'm going to get a little revenge in this frame, which is kind of fucked up. But
I don't know if it's revenge. I guess that's interesting. I mean,
I never really thought about
it's
that.
Mary Jane, you know. He's gonna go make the move. Bro. I don't think he was like, I'm gonna spite Harry or spite Peter here. Though it is funny that he just reuses that fact that Peter just told him on Mary Jane or whatever.
Yeah, almost immediately.
Yeah, I mean, love his
But
he comes up there and just says like hateful little things or whatever, and she's like, I like him. He's like, yeah, me too. Just plays it off.
So I do want to say,
what's this spider's problem? This spider's all the way up in the rafters.
It escaped, bro.
Minding its business, and it decides to drop all the way down just to land on Peter's hand and bite him and then run away.
It's a canon event.
That was a very hateful little thing for that spider to do.
I do want to say, like, just we talk about like the origin story. Thinking about this is outside of like Superman, the original like 1978 78 or 77. What year was it, Zach?
Let's say 78. Let's call it 78.
78. Okay, but outside of that, I'm thinking about superhero movies of the time, and this was really the first origin story since 1978. We didn't get one with Blade. We are thrown.
X-Men's not really an origin story, but I mean, you're thrown you just kind of get
it's Wolverine.
You get thrown into it with Wolverine because Wolverine doesn't really know what the X-Men are about the X-Men, I guess.
But it's also more Rogue's movie if we really got into it.
Is it? Yeah, you're right. It is a Rogue. I haven't seen that first one in a while.
It's so good.
I think this holds up way better than that one, to be honest. Spoiler alert. But
I think that one suffers from a pacing issue. But like that being said, we haven't gotten a lot of origin stories, and Sam Rami does this thing where he's willing to speed up the origin and kind of bypass it a little. Because by I think it's like the 30-minute mark, he's Spider-Man. He's already web shooting, getting criminals. There's a song about him being sung in the New York subways. Mm-hmm. I mean, he is a hero of like folklore within 30 minutes of the movie. And by doing that, like it just feels better because, like you said, Corey, we spend whole movies on origin stories now.
Right. This feels like an origin story that isn't trying to be an origin story. You know, like you could cut that first part out, and I don't even know. Like, it would almost feel like the new Superman movie that we got this year. You know, how that one was like, it wasn't an origin story, but it was our first time with these characters. And so instead of doing that, they did like a little summary. I feel like you could have done something like that. And that you could have done something like that with this one. And it would like, and then just start the movie at a different spot, and it would have had the same impact. Like, it just feels like it's not tied to Spider-Man is new, or like this is a new hero on the block and all of that kind of stuff that other origin stories get kind of wrapped into sometimes. Like the whole arc of him and J. Jonah Simmons.
J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, I can't. His name always just feels like a tongue twister. But like that whole storyline, I feel like that's gonna be like that could happen at any point during a superhero's life. You know, like that's not something that's like, oh, because he's new. Like, yes, because he's new, that's what prompted it. But like any big event could have prompted, oh, we need to start talking about Spider-Man. We need to talk about how he's a menace. And I appreciated that a part of. I appreciated that as part
slander.
Of it. But
I resent that on print. It's libel.
With that being with the thing, the movie did very well. Peter is so weird when he is on screen, and I don't. Maybe that's something that they meant to do, and if so, knocked it out of the park. They just could not have done. He's supposed to be
awkward.
He is.
I wrote that down here. He's the most awkward Peter Parker. Like, Andrew Garfield's cool. Like, why are we lying? Andrew Garfield is a cool Peter Parker. He's just like
he's got glasses.
He's just a lanky little hipster. You know, like it's just
he's a lanky.
He skateboards, doesn't he? Isn't he like a skater?
Yeah, and he also takes out his contacts once he's become Spider-Man to put on glasses, which is the reverse of what we get here.
He's a dork. Peter is a dork in this movie, and also it helps that if we saw Tobey McGuire in real life walking down the street, like at this age in person, be like, yeah, that's a handsome guy. In terms of like movie stars, like it's not like he doesn't stand out as like, oh my God, he is so handsome. I'm just saying, like, if you saw him in a regular, like in your regular day-to-day life, be like, yeah, he's a good looking guy.
He's a Midwest Nine.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, you compare that to like Andrew Garfield, who's just extraordinarily handsome, or Tom Holland.
Got, like the spiked up hair.
I'm just saying I buy this guy more as the underdog, like dorky, nerdy, depressed Peter Parker.
And I get that, and I like that they're doing that but it does get a little bit hard to watch at some points because he's got like. The way he talks with Mary Jane, I think, is a big one at first. Like in that first 5 minutes when he's taking pictures of Mary Jane, she could have chemistry with a doornail. She is so good, especially in that like when he's taking pictures of her and he's just like for the yearbook, yeah, and she's just doing all these fun poses and just having fun, like almost trying to like I don't know if she was flirting with him, but like just
that spider had to come and just fuck it all up. Yeah, that's like when the spider starts coming down.
But then at the end of that scene, before the spider comes down and bites him, she's like getting called away by her friends, and he's taken 6, 7. He's taken plenty of pictures for the yearbook at this point, and she just walks away, and he goes, "Oh wait, no," like come back. It just makes so weird, and I'm like, oh, it's hard to watch. And it doesn't get much better throughout the movie. The only time he's okay to watch is when he's Spider-Man. And even still when he's Spider-Man, he has these weird lines. The only reason he's easier to watch is because you don't have to look at
Spider-Man.
If I would have seen that come
that
out
line's
of
fine.
Okay.
Line's great. I love that.
I don't know, man. It still is like cringy and awkward.
Corey, I will say this, like, it might be a portrayal of how nerds were portrayed at the time. They're kind of weird. They're social outcasts. Peter has one friend. It is established he has one friend at the start of this movie. It's him and Harry. And people don't like Harry because he's rich. And Peter just doesn't seem to care because Harry talks to him. So it's natural that he doesn't have a lot of social interaction. He's not going to know how to act in these moments. And I think
you try getting raised by your geriatric senior citizen aunt and uncle and see if you come out normal.
Aunt May seems way more normal than he is.
Uncle Ben's out here calling him Michelangelo.
What was that about?
They were painting. Because they're painting.
Yeah, they were painting.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
It was just,
I didn't catch that reference. It did bother me. I was just like, I wonder why he did that. But then there's lines like, "It's you who's out, Gobby."
That's
out of your mind.
Spider-Man. Like,
that's Spider-Man. Dude, that's so cringy.
I will say
this is coming off of a cartoon show and all the comics. This is who the character is. You know, like, this is how he talks.
He's just because he's Spider-Man, he feels more comfortable being himself. Yes.
It's you who's out, Gobby.
But out of your mind.
It doesn't say it like that.
But anyway, Corey, the point is, like, he just feels more comfortable as himself. I mean, we'll talk. I have an argument to make about 3 when we talk about it, but he just feels more comfortable in the mask. It doesn't make
I got goosebumps thinking about him walking down the street doing the pointing thing.
Stop, we can't.
It doesn't make him... It doesn't make him suave. It doesn't make him cool. He's just comfortable. You know why? Because
he's more confident.
Nobody knows who he is.
I would just like him to be a little bit easier to watch and digest as a character. That's all I want. He doesn't go down very easy. You can, like, every single time he's on screen, you feel it, you know?
Okay.
And sometimes that's a good thing.
Words.
I see what you're saying, and that's fair enough. I think I don't find him as cringy to watch as you do, but I really do appreciate that he is the dorkiest of the 3 live action Spider-Man that we've got.
The thing that makes him the easiest dork, though, is because Tom Holland's like a trained dancer, so all of his moves are kind of natural. You know,
I thought when he was Spider-Man, his moves were great.
Tobey is just he does this thing where he's just so wooden while he's Peter. And to me, that works so much better to perpetuate the dorkiness and the awkwardness of this character.
So I have a question. I don't know if you guys know the answer to this. I just thought of this question, didn't write it down. I should have looked it up. Is Tobey McGuire in the suit?
I thought so. I mean, he's yoked as hell, man.
Shape.
That's what I thought. But, like, when he is in the suit, he's like, the way he moves. It feels like 2 different characters. I mean, it feels like 2 different actors, not characters. 2 different actors almost. Which I understand. Like, probably there's a stunt double for, like, the big stuff. But I mean, I felt like every single time it was in the suit, he was moving more freely. And like you said, Cole, I think that's a great description of Peter Parker. Is he's very wooden the way he moves, you know, and so there's this big contrast. But I don't know.
But we also see these scenes where he can move fluidly, like the tray catch scene, which 100 and some odd takes, completely practical, awesome moment.
That's pretty cool.
Caught an actual train.
Tray.
Oh, tray.
The food, when
like
he catches
all
the food.
The food he catches.
Okay. I thought you said train. Like the car, the car.
Dude, stop getting ahead of the movies.
I'm sorry.
Stop
No.
it.
I like at the end of this movie.
He did catch that train car, though.
It's like a, I don't know about.
It's more of a
train.
train.
A train.
I think it's called a tram, technically.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, Corey, I do want to. I mean, you brought up like,
I
it's
wanna
kind of like horny
piggyback
with like the audio.
oh no! If you got
Go.
something to say, Zach, say it.
I just liked how charismatic Kirsten Dunst was, and it felt like Tobey McGuire wasn't carrying his weight in that
He's not supposed to
comical
be charismatic.
or chemistry.
Maybe
There
when
wasn't
maybe when
chemistry
he's
between the
Spider-Man,
two of
he's
them.
supposed to be charismatic. But
I also think they do that with Harry in this movie, and this is not the
that's
way
true.
I remember Harry. But
Yeah, me neither.
like James Franco's portrayal is incredibly reserved, and he is also incredibly awkward. And
I expected more from James Franco.
that. Let's not get into that. But he's awkward to the point where he is this shut-in rich kid, and his only friend is going to be a nerd. Like, both their portrayals work in concept so well together, and I love them both. I think they're so great in this movie. Not much outside of it, but in this movie, they are great.
It's you who's out, Gabby.
Out of your
Well, okay,
mind.
Corey,
Why do you keep
I'm
doing
going-
like
okay.
a Green Goblin voice when you say that? You're like, it's you
Yeah.
who's out, Gabby. No, he says,
Okay.
it's
I
you
like the Green
who's
Goblin
out,
voice.
Gabby. Out of your mind.
it's enough. It's always fun when I'm listening to these episodes and I just know I'm listening to something that I know I'm just gonna cut. It's just,
I'm so cool.
my goodness.
I can cut my
Nice.
friends out.
Go ahead, Zach. Sorry.
I think the "You're Out, Gabby" line works for me because it is just like we were saying, it's inherently Spider-Man. It's very comic booky, and I think this movie is unabashedly comic booky. And I think coming off of X-Men, which is like where they kind of played it more reserved, like you said, Cole, with the pacing, but also like all the X-Men costumes are just from the comics. All these bright costumes are just swapped for
They're
like
the Matrix.
like just black leather. Yeah, coming off like the Matrix too. So it's almost like a shame to be a comic book movie in a way, like that. Whereas this is from, obviously the costume is actually the Spider-Man costume, bright red. And then and also just the dialogue and also like the visuals of it. Like the transitions are like literal, like almost like comic frames at times, or like the montages of like when he's drawing. Yeah, the over I love we get a really good spinning newspaper transition. Love those. Just stuff like that. And it's not afraid to be kind of silly. I like the pumpkin bombs are silly. The fact that like they turn into skeletons right away. I like that.
Zach,
I mean you don't like the
counter argument to this though.
Okay, go ahead.
Because the Green Goblin costume in itself was their like kind of statement where it's like, yes, we're unabashedly comic booky here. We're gonna land our plane here, but we're not willing to land it here. And I think you guys have seen the videos. They did because that is not how he looks. Like Norman does not look like that at all in the comics, in the cartoons. He's a guy in a bunch of cloths and rubber masks, and he's actually throwing pumpkins. The pumpkin bombs are actually pumpkins. And the original mask
that. That would be kind of fun.
Was similar to the comic books. It was.
I saw that. I think this is still pretty wild look. I mean, this is
it works, but it also falls into the realm of we're a comic book movie, but we're a little too scared to admit that. I mean, Blade was a little too scared to admit that. X-Men sure as hell was. But
I mean, you still have Green Goblin saying lines like, "This is why you shouldn't be a hero, because you'll never know when a lunatic will come along with a sadistic choice," or whatever. Like, that's... like, that... Okay, come on. Like, I love that, and I love lines like that. I'm just saying, like, it's not trying to be, like, hyper-realistic in any way. So, like, I'll take a little concession like this, also because I do think the design that they go with for the Goblin in this movie is really cool looking. He's still flying around on a glider, throwing bombs that turn people into skeletons. I think we can be satisfied with that.
The bombs into skeletons. Love that. Love that sequence.
I thought him flying in was actually kind of scary. The way that
they do play that kind of scary.
It, where he came in, it almost felt like
From the
Wizard of
distance?
Oz, like the Wicked Witch coming in.
Yeah.
That's kind of what
Ooh,
it
look at this guy.
Oh my gosh,
Look at
guys.
this guy.
This guy. Get a load of that.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
you
Way to
guys are
tie
so
it back
much-
into Oz the Great and Powerful. Really,
Oh.
really good job.
No.
Yeah. I mean, okay, but I know I'm going to reuse this word. This movie is very earnest in the sense that it is not afraid to be cringy, especially like things that Peter might say to Mary Jane, like the way he kind of is madly in love with her, like the scene that you use in your like who said that, like when he's talking to her in the hospital, like that's very it is kind of sweet. It's a very sweet, awkward scene. And, like you said, that she's kind of carrying the weight of the charisma, but it is kind of sweet to watch her kind of, just kind of take a moment and listen to what he's saying and really kind of appreciate him. As not that she was ever mean to him, but that's a big moment for Peter to have that opportunity. And I like that Aunt May is like up, like kind of awake, but giving him that time to actually like talk with Mary Jane and act like she's still asleep.
You were supposed to be asleep, Aunt May.
Okay.
Rose,
Also, like all the
you're
side
butchering
characters in this
these
movie.
line reads.
It feels very real. Put it that way. This is not like very like quippy, lines from Peter here or anything like that. But like even like all the side characters, like the people at the Bugle, I think are like they don't get like a ton, but like I feel I like every moment we get with those characters. The science teacher at the museum that we were talking about earlier. And his whole bit is being really mad at them for talking. I love how like deadly serious he gets. Is like, I kid you not, I will fail you. Like lowers his voice. He's great. I mean, the wrestling MC, who's Bruce Campbell, obviously,
Yes.
He's a lot of fun.
The fact that they got Randy Macho Man Savage, who's like, I'd say after Hulk Hogan, he is one of the biggest names of the 80s in wrestling. And to lose in wrestling is a big deal. And they were like, you know what?
Well,
Randy,
if you're gonna lose to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also has the line that doesn't particularly age well, where Peter's slightly homophobic. But
He's just wondering.
I thought it was a very progressive question on his part.
Yeah, it was not assuming, unlike you, Cole.
Yeah.
It's actually very telling that you take that negatively.
I love that montage of like the New York random people, like Cole mentioned Lucy Lawless or whatever, being like, oh yeah, he sounds hot or whatever. But like, don't we cut to like a cop who's like, he's stupid and I don't like him, or he stinks and I don't like him.
They cut to like 3 different people who say that. And, like,
he's like some crazy wackadoo or whatever.
Yeah.
I love the scene where the cop tries to arrest him, and they're like, "There's someone."
Yeah, that guy's
there.
great. Yeah, that cop
and
too.
he's like,
Very lived-in character.
I'll be here when you get back. I ain't coming back, Chief.
I don't know. I love that. That feels like a very real character to be like, yeah, oh yeah, you're under arrest, but also I'm of course not that I could stop you anyway, probably, but I'm not going to stop you from going there and saving someone. Like that's, I don't know. I like scenes like that. So like, I think that's part of why this movie like resonates still now. Because I was thinking like, why is this movie held in still high esteem? And like, okay, yeah, some of it's nostalgia, but I think X-Men is again even older and yet does not get talked about nearly in the same reverence as this movie does. So like there is something different about this one. Like Daredevil obviously came out at the same time. That's actually like kind of a bad movie. So, but like the stuff that makes this movie still resonate is, I think,
and that was also falling under the too ashamed to be a comic book movie. It also, I mean, The Dark Knight kind of falls. The Dark Knight trilogy definitely falls under that. It's like it's a comic book movie, but is it a comic book movie?
Well, that's a whole different. That one's not trying to ride the line. That one really is just setting up something completely different
It's
for a
basically
comic book movie. Which
it's not a comic book movie, but it's like Nolan's like being like, I'm gonna make a Batman movie, but I'm gonna make it my way.
It's also
which
coming
I'm
off of
fine with.
it's also coming off of Batman and Robin, which is
it's
just,
kind of like
just truly an
it's
atrocity
the
of
Daniel
going.
Craig Bond dilemma, where like you basically fucked after Austin Powers, and you have to go dark, or you can't really do anything with the character. But
Either way, what I think it resonates because of the heart, because of the
art, yes,
the style, the comic booky stuff, and also the lack of
Stuff,
precedent in the
yes.
sense that there wasn't that many superhero movies before this, and this is obviously the first time you're seeing Spider-Man, do that. And that's obviously on the top 3 most popular superheroes ever with Superman and Batman.
Yeah.
So that this was a big deal. I mean, this movie I think was the highest grossing movie of all time when it came out.
It
Right?
had the highest
Whoa.
grossing opening weekend. Titanic came out before this, though. So
You're right.
Titanic
Yeah, it
would
didn't
be-
pass Titanic.
But Zach, speaking of Titanic, you know who was originally slated to direct this motion picture?
Yeah, it was a James Cameron vehicle, or was going to be.
This movie was?
Yeah, with
Mm-hmm.
Leonardo DiCaprio as Peter Parker.
Actually, interesting.
Yeah, there's.
I mean, that was going on 10 years before this. Michael Jackson also wanted to buy the rights
knew
and
that
make
one.
himself Spider-Man. That universe is I don't really want to think about it.
Throw him into
Especially
the-
if he put himself as high school Peter Parker. I just don't know.
Hey,
That would be
guys.
just odd.
Hey guys, how's it going?
That's enough. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's what all those reasons that we talked about. Though I think that's why this movie is so. Another. Oh yeah. You know what it else is back before the MCU. I think, and this is what I think people want to try to get back to now, if possible, and that's why maybe the new Batman I think really resonates and works. Is when you're a singular hero in your world, you're not one of 100 other heroes
Right.
going on. And so the way that people look at you and react to these events is different, and there's just more weight and stakes to everything that's happening because this is not one of a million big superhero things that have happened, in this universe.
Yeah.
So I think that it's more fun. I think I just would rather watch these characters in this world when it's close enough to ours. Whereas with the MCU now, it's you can't relate to a single person in the MCU because what they have witnessed over the past 20 years has been just absurd cataclysmic events on a daily basis, it seems
Well, it comes back to one of the quotes from Spider-Man Far From Home, and Peter's like, we used to think Thor was fiction. Now we talk about him in my science class. That's commonplace in the MCU, and that kind of ruins what I will say is great about this, which is the fact that we only know that he exists in this movie. We don't know about any other heroes, and I'm fine with that because I will say this, my rankings probably go Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, if we're talking about the big 3.
Yeah, that'd
But
be mine.
Spidey, a good Spider-Man movie.
Don't call him
for
Spidey like you
me-
know him.
That's actually a joke from Family Guy. Peter calls him Spidey, and then he goes, how about if I call you Petey? And he goes, oh, I don't like that.
Ooh, I don't like that.
But the simple fact of the matter is that good Spider-Man is worth so much to me just because Peter Parker is such a compelling character. Zach talked about this with Marty McFly when we were talking about Back to the Future. He said in one of his classes they teach good screenwriting is make it hard on your characters. I don't think any character has a continually harder road or mountain to climb than Peter Parker as a superhero.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a tough one. I mean,
Because you
Parent-
get your powers.
he's orphaned. That's common, but
you're orphaned. You get your powers. It leads to your uncle getting killed. You obviously can't be with the person you love
Double
because
orphaned.
she's with your best friend. What?
He's a double
I mean,
orphan.
his parents die when he's little. He's raised by his aunt and uncle, and then one of them has to bite it. It's like give this guy a break.
It's
and it's a guy that he let go out of spite. What a perfect vehicle to learn your lesson about great power. You know, that.
What about my
That's
uncle?
very effective.
Did you give him a chance?
That seems good. I also like that their Uncle Ben's death is not like he gets his final words. He doesn't say with great power comes great responsibility then. His last words are just saying Peter, and then he dies.
Yeah.
And then Peter does like, I love that transition of him running through the alley, and then that score starts when he starts climbing the walls.
To our Grey's Anatomy fans who listen to the podcast, Sarah Ramirez, who plays Callie Torres, is the cop who tells everyone to back up. But
sick.
Yeah, but like I was saying, like Peter's road is just really, really hard. And I have a point I want to make with the second movie. And this is something that gets talked about in the comic books now. Being Spider-Man has basically ruined his life.
Yeah.
In fact, this great thing that happened that turned him into a hero has caused his uncle to die, for him to lose friendships, for him to lose love interests.
You know what the cool part is, though? He can just decide to not be Spider-Man, and then he just starts losing his powers because he decides not to.
Oh, God, don't you fucking...
Well, Cole, you did start talking about
opened the door!
All right, that's just table that bullshit.
I had to beat an old lady with a stick to get these cranberries. I wrote that line down.
Love that one.
I like that one, too. He's so casual. And they're like,
so fucking awkward. I love it.
Bike messenger.
But why didn't anyone say, oh, what?
Well,
because
I was just the way he goes, bike
his
messenger.
aunt knows.
Clip me. Like when he's like,
oh,
did you say happen to your wrist? Or
how did you get that cut again?
But you know what we haven't talked about? We haven't talked about the villain enough.
You kind of talked about his look.
Green.
Well, Cole, I have a good transition into talking about the villain. If you
take it. From
let me
there.
bring up a brief topic beforehand.
Take it away, Zeki.
I do think that this movie.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
I'm not gonna harp on this part long because I'm sure this is probably an annoying conversation because you can't really define it. It's like that famous quote about pornography. It's like I can't define it, but I know it when I see it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? This movie, I would say, has the sauce.
Tomato, am I right?
Yeah, nice. I'd say this movie has the sauce, but to be clear, that doesn't mean it's good because it has the sauce, or because good movies can have no sauce. I would actually say Spider-Man: Homecoming is a good movie. I don't think it really has the sauce. You know what I mean? And then bad movies can also have the sauce, like Mission Impossible 2. Probably a bad movie. It's definitely kind of like a movie that has the sauce a little
Saucy.
Because remember we compared it.
Yes.
But if a bad movie has sauce,
which is completely sauceless.
But if you have a bad movie that has the sauce, that's how you get like a cult classic.
Right.
Where people
I think
really
this is a
like
good
that
movie
sauce.
that has the sauce. That's also
when
part of why
I
this
look
movie is
at,
fun to watch. And I think a
Jay
lot
and
of it.
Silent Bob Strike Back, not an amazing movie, not an Oscar winner, but it has the sauce.
This movie has a big nostalgic following because it has the sauce, and a lot of it I think just comes from like Sam Rami style specifically. Do you remember how people were kind of complaining in Doctor Strange 2 with like some of like the weird transitions and stuff? Like, remember that? I remember my favorite scene in that movie might have been when like Wong was talking about was explaining the Darkhold or whatever that book was, and like
you're, like,
the weird montage transitions during that part. Like, I love that. That's interesting. But you could be like, oh, that's stupid. But like that, I love that. And this movie has so many transitions, and there's the bomb exploding from the Goblin that becomes graduation caps. Just throwing into the air. Like that's a good one. I love the spider. Like on the first time we see Spider-Man as Spider-Man, where it's like the spider logo, and you just go through it, and he's swinging. The POV of him swinging, that's really fun. The glider smoke after he kidnaps Peter, it becomes like the roof vent smoke, and there are so many crossfade montages in this movie, like when he's designing his outfit, and we get like images of Mary Jane across like in her window. Overlaid on top of like a car like that he wants to get. It's just like okay. Like we get it, but like that stuff I think is really fun, and it's hard to be bored when that type of energy is like maintained throughout the runtime, and the runtime is actually pretty reasonable, by the way. That goes into the pacing thing too. That it really does not overstay its welcome, and yet because it did get going so quick. Yeah, just barely over 2 hours. Like because it does get going so quick with our origins, we're really kind of allowed to space out the story because like it feels like a good enough time has passed without rushing through things. But like I was saying, I just think the Sam Raimi style is present. Like a lot of eye reflection shots too. I love like even when like Goblin drops Mary Jane and the tram at the end, and he has to choose, and there's like the reflection of both in each eye. Like that doesn't make sense. That's not how that would look at all. How could he possibly be that? How could that have lined up? Doesn't matter. It looks cool. So like I'm fine with that. That's examples of like, oh yeah, that's sauce right there. And I think the biggest part of that in the Raimiism, people associate Sam Raimi with horror. I think Green Goblin in this movie genuinely might be like the most like horror oriented superhero movie villain. Almost in like the way that he's directed, like if you go from like we talked his design, that's kind of eerie looking, but like his transformation scene, I remember that actually scared me as a kid. Like the way his eyes are like rolled back and he's like shaking in that green gas or whatever.
He's formula.
Completely homicidal, like that's that he's not really dilly dallying around that. Obviously, he's got bombs that turn people into skeletons. Like there's like a jump scare with him when he turns around in the like burning building when he's got like the fake old lady cry on a loop. Like that's I don't know. I think he genuinely. Can you think of another superhero movie with a villain that is directed in like such a like horror, I guess, I don't know, context?
I'm looking. Give me a second.
This seems like something that would not be in a superhero movie now. I mean, I think not until maybe. This does not mean. I guess it does kind of loop around to my point. Maybe not till Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange 2.
Well, I was thinking, but this might be hard. Did you say directed by a horror movie director too?
No. I'm saying just as a villain in a superhero movie.
I was going to say Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Because like all the villains in there are very like dramatic, but like Scarecrow specifically is. I feel like that's feeding in more to the horror aspect.
To be as a character, he is, but it's like really he's just like, he gets kind of like a shaky filter over everything whenever you get gassed. Like
scary.
You need a drink. You look.
I want to see Scarecrow in the Matt Reeves universe. I want to see Scarecrow in the Matt Reeves universe.
They did announce
that would be directed a little bit.
That has been guessed has been wrong. That was
okay.
So no Sandman.
I'm not too worried about the Twitter guessing. I'm just saying not that it would have to be in the Batman 2. I'm just saying like it's that seems like the type of Batman. Given that that's already kind of it's not as grounded maybe as Nolan's movies are in terms of like it pretty much is. Like we don't have anyone with powers or anything, but I feel like the tone. The aesthetic of the Matt Reeves universe would lend itself better to Scarecrow than like the Nolan movie
definitely.
did. Even though I love Cillian Murphy in that role.
The hard part about this is all villains, like every single time you get a villain in a movie, it's always supposed to like invoke some sort of fear, So I feel like it's a very thin line because this one, yes, it's a horror movie director, so I think when you have a moment in a movie that is supposed to be scary, it's hard to not lean into that from with someone that has that kind of experience, you know. But overall, superhero movies are more meant for a younger audience, so you can't really do that too often. You know,
right? Well,
But
definitely
then
now.
you have-
That's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like you wouldn't be able to do this now.
You also
but
have-
you just said the next time we get it is with Wanda.
But not
was
even
more
to this
recent.
extent, though.
he's just pulling out Sam
I don't
Raimi.
know.
I will
But
say,
but
like,
but he's right. There's no other, like, even the closest I could get with Scarecrow. I just looked at a list of like 40 characters that all had different.
I mean, you even mentioned how creepy it is where he comes on that glider, like when you.
that is creepy.
That's an eerie
It's scary.
scene. Yeah.
Really thinking about
the
it
black
though,
smoke.
like Jack Nicholson's Joker though is
That's another one I was
Before
thinking.
this,
that
that's
one's-
before this, but yeah.
like he's not Green Goblin in the fact that Green Goblin is kind of like terrifying just because he's like pure psychotic. Jack Nicholson's Joker is kind of more campy psychotic. And
I mean, okay,
think
I guess if you're looking
that
as a
doesn't-
character, yes, but it's the way it's directed, you know?
Yes,
It's like the
yes.
moments with them,
Well, I think
it is
that
directed
comes
to
from
try
the
to scare you a
director.
little bit.
I mean, that's gonna
Well, that's
come
what I'm
from
saying. That's how I made the connection. Is that I feel like that's what he brings to this that makes it different from other superhero movies.
Well, it
And you
also-
know, we'll talk about it again. I don't think Dr. Octopus is quite like this, but you know, teaser. We'll talk about it more next time. There is absolutely a scene in Spider-Man 2 that is completely like horror genre scene in Spider-Man in the second one.
Great moment.
So-
My dad had to take me out of the theater for it. I was
Oh,
3.
really?
I was 3. Okay.
Why do I not
Or you
remember this scene?
you'll know exactly what we're talking about when you rewatch it. There's a scene in the second one that's
But anyway,
probably scarier than anything in this movie.
But Zach, I think yes, it lends itself. Well, the portrayal, yes, it lends itself to the direction.
Don't say it
but
lends
I
itself.
believe the portrayal is what makes it, and I think Willem Dafoe, from the fact that he was willing to wear dentures and then take the dentures off when he turned into Green Goblin. I love that little detail. Like when he's Green Goblin, it's his real teeth, and when he's Norman, it's his fake teeth, and he goes the line of like creepy to charming to psychotic so quickly, and it's just like it's all bubbling underneath the surface. And I love the idea that it's the performance enhancer, which, spoiler alert, it's supposed to be the super soldier serum for Captain America, but
checks out.
that makes him a little more him. This was always Norman. Like, but the making
I mean, how do you guys read this? Do you read this as like a split personality? Because it
it
does
was
look
more
he is
Jekyll and
genuinely
Hyde.
shocked.
It's
He is
Jekyll
genuinely
and
shocked
Hyde.
about the murders. You know, like he doesn't know it was him until
like Frodo.
I think it's Jekyll and Hyde. You know, like
Not Frodo.
Gollum. But
Gollum,
Doctor
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was
Jekyll
baffled by
he drinks the poison, and then he becomes Mr. Hyde, and then everyone's like, where'd Dr. Jekyll go? And then Mr. Hyde's got his fortune, he's got his money, he's doing all this shit, and then Dr. Jekyll's like, what the fuck's going on?
I mean, he's having conversations with the Goblin. I mean, both in the mirror and then when he's got the mask sitting there on the chair. When he
It's hard, Osborne.
So it sounds like they are separate, but they are in cahoots with each other.
It's like Urkel and Stefan.
Yes.
I don't know.
Zach doesn't
Okay. I don't know who
understand
that
because
is.
he never watched Family Matters, but I get it.
Okay.
I thought of another.
It's like Butters and Professor Chaos.
Yes, there you go.
I
thought of
watched
another.
that.
I thought of another one that might fit your criteria for a villain that is directed with a horror aspect. I don't know. I don't know. This is just the closest I could find. Gore the God Butcher, Christian Bale's villain in.
If
movie
that
ends with
movie in
him getting
Zach's
beat up by a bunch of
words
children, doesn't it?
wasn't written in crayon, it probably would have worked.
I mean, it kind
did
of
not
is.
like
What a lovely story.
Well, I mean, there's also like, yeah, Willem Dafoe performance. I mean, he's got the crazy eyes. I love the design of the mask, but also I love that the eyes, the yellow eyes, come up, and there are moments where you can, those eyes are doing so much because he looks insane just from the eyes, and then you can still kind of see his mouth behind, like through that like black mesh in the mouth or whatever. So I mean that all, everything about that, chef's kiss. But I mean, it's also like the dialogue they give him. Like I brought up like. That like you'll never know when a lunatic gives you a sadistic choice line before, but like he's they brought it back for when he comes back in No Way Home, but like on the phone when he's calling Mary Jane and he picks up and it's just like, oh, can Spider-Man come out to play? Like that's like his delivery of that is like, that's so good. That's like such a great segue into the last act of a movie with that.
It's you who's out, Gabby.
Yeah.
Stop
or maybe
saying it like that.
I mean, how would they, we talked about, like, what would they, and I guess this is, like, beating a dead horse with, like, oh, what would they let you do now in a modern superhero movie designed for kids to be able to watch? But, like, when Goblin at the end, like, delivers that line where he's like, if you had, blah, blah, if her death, when he's talking about Mary Jane, her death would have been quick and painless, but now that you've really pissed me off, like, I'm going to finish her nice and slow or whatever. Like, that is, like... And he's got that crazy look in his eye when he says that.
But there's
like,
also the line, me and Mary Jane, we're going to have a hell of a time.
No, he does it with a rhyme. MJ and I are going to have a hell of a time. It's a little poem he's got for Peter. It's
a haiku, if you will.
Right, we love haikus now.
No, it's not. Haikus.
I mean, he's not one note either in the sense that he does offer... I love that he does... offer Spider-Man a choice or whatever, and he obviously clearly didn't take off Spider-Man's mask even though he had him knocked out and flown to it. I think it's because I think it's a very like genuine moment of like, okay, he's not backstabbing him here. He's actually going to offer him genuine friendship, and friendships are built on trust. And like, okay, let's be in this together. And like, I'm not going to take off. I'm capturing you, but I'm not going to take off your mask. So like. I love that scene.
Capturing you.
Yeah. No. Right. Exactly. Right.
And I love.
No, I thought that was
the internal conflict too of him talking to the mask, and he's like, "We can't do this. That's Harry's friend." Like there's depth. There's so much depth to him.
I get kind of Jack Nicholson and The Shining vibes from Norman in this movie at times, like the kind of slowly losing his mind even more and more as the movie goes. But like, but the Goblin is more like him talking to the Goblin mask is like, and being manipulated by that side is like Jack talking to the butler in The Shining or the bartender at the Overlook. It's similar to that, but like just how crazy he looks when he's like. He reaches for something and Aunt May slaps his hand.
Yeah, I got scared. I was like, I don't know.
Just starts like playing with the knife or whatever he's doing.
Yeah, he just starts sharpening the knife. It's a little threat based on what the audience knows.
I love the power Aunt May holds in that moment. Like, yes, Norman is a grown man who probably makes like 5 times more than she has ever made in her life because her house is being foreclosed.
I'd say well more than 5, honestly.
But she is still willing to be like, we're gonna pray before dinner, and like just Rosemary Harris. She is so. I wish she was my aunt. She's just so fantastic.
She's still alive. She's still kicking it. Should get her on the pod. Can you imagine?
Do I have a surprise for you?
Surprise guest. I was trying to break down how to use
Rosemary?
Riverside and plug in mics to the 97-year-old Rosemary Harris.
So I do,
97.
So much fun. 97.
I do want to ask. So we're talking about the villain. We're talking about the hero. This movie has arguably one of the most iconic side characters in J. Jonah Jameson and J.K. Simmons' portrayal. Can you think of like a side character that you can like just like look back at and be like, he's as like iconic as the movie he's in?
Cole, that's actually a really good point, because now that you think about it, like, when you think of famous characters in superhero movies or whatever, you think of either the hero, the villain, or I guess maybe the love interest.
When I think of Spider-Man,
But-
I think of J. Jonah, too. I think
So
of
someone that
all-
doesn't fit into any of those criteria, who's, like,
Fun
iconic.
prompt. I see the prompt.
I guess
now.
maybe, like, Commissioner Gordon.
But he's a cop,
Is he not the
too.
love interest?
But he's Batman's partner. Like,
It's like a sidekick.
Okay, so, like, a not sidekick, not a sidekick guy.
Not
but
a
just
plot driver.
Another character in the
Not a
universe.
plot driver.
But also, when you think about it, we have had a singular portrayal of J. Jonah in live action. There has never been...
Yeah, because he's not in the Garfield movies, is he?
No. That's how iconic J.K.
I mean, he is really... Again, every single scene... I think I said this earlier with this. I love the Bugle characters, but every single scene where he shows up, it's like, hell yeah, another Bugle scene.
I do love that moment where he tells Peter to get out, and like I saw this meme where it's the Joker line in the last moments of the life, people show you who they really are, and he thought he was
I know
going to
exactly what you're
die,
going to bring up.
and his line is, "Oh no, he sends his stuff in the mail."
Protecting
Yeah,
Peter.
that's a great subversion of the sense that he's just kind of I want to call
He's
him an
an
asshole,
asshole to be
but
an
he's not. He's
asshole.
he's a bit harsh. He's abrasive maybe, and you kind of it would be so easy to make a character like this be just a wimp and be like, it's Peter Parker, like let me go, I'll do anything or whatever. But for him to, protect this guy who doesn't even officially work for him, doesn't give him a job. This is a freelance gig for Parker. Like you don't have a job. I never said you have a job. That works really well. Is that this movie or the next? I was about to say the next movie is the one with the line from the new intro with the planetarium party. Never mind. But he's like, what is this? You're fired. It's like, Chief, the planetarium party. Oh wait, yeah, I need you. Get back in here. It's just like
I think it's. I mean, it lends itself to the portrayal, like because JK's JK. He's the man. He's the man. He's Omni-Man.
he is Omni-Man. Well done.
That's the neat part.
You really stumbled into that. Nice little transition there, Cole. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, like I can't really think of any. Like I can't think of a side character who's like just like we love him just as much as we love these other characters. Like I love J. Jonah because of the portrayal. And like,
He's a lot of fun.
I feel like nowadays, if you get a character like that, there's always sequels, and in the sequels, they are
I mean, they're doing,
brought into a different they're either like given powers or making like a bigger part of the story.
I've stated this to you guys. I've stated this on the podcast. I loved Jimmy Olsen in the new Superman. I thought the character was super funny. I thought he hooked me.
I don't think he
away.
meets that though. I don't think he meets that criteria.
He doesn't need that. Like that's what I'm getting at. Like we don't need that, and I feel like that's kind of my point why I brought him up because
Is he in Booksmart?
Skylar something.
Yes. Oh yeah. Skylar he is in Booksmart. I thought you were talking about J.K. Simmons for a second. I was like,
No. What are you guys doing up here?
Like it's just we don't need more of him. We get as much as we get, and that is enough. But you also want more, but you don't need more, and he's perfectly fit into the movie and to Peter's story. Also, I love that he just hates Spider-Man for no reason. I think that's just a fun little detail.
Oh, speaking of Skylar, I don't know how to say his last name. He's in the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, he's Gwen's younger brother.
What?
Wow.
Gizondo?
It is.
Skylar Gizondo?
It is amazing how different. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's amazing. It is funny how different.
It's spectacular.
Literally, these two endings are of this movie compared to the ending of the first Amazing Spider-Man are quite literally the exact opposite. With Peter in this movie being like, "No, Mary Jane, I'm sorry, I can't be with you." He just can't do it. where Amazing Spider-Man ends with him pretty much hinting to Gwen Stacy, like, I'm going to break the promise I made to your dad, and I'm absolutely going to be dating you, like, starting right now.
It was
Even though your dad was like, it'll be far too dangerous for you to be dating my daughter, something bad could happen to her. He's like,
You know what's dangerous?
That's not what my dick says.
Whoa.
I mean,
But yeah.
yeah.
I mean, literally the exact opposite of endings of these movies. And I think this one works really well.
I think this
I
one
really
works
think the ending of this movie
phenomenally.
is... And that movie, and it works in the context of Amazing Spider-Man as well, because that's, obviously we know where that goes, and that plays a big part. So it's not like they're just jumping over that. But the ending of this movie, ending right there in the cemetery by Uncle Ben's grave with no years of life that they decided to not put on the grave. That I think with the autumn leaves blowing, and he has to turn down the girl that he's loved his whole life. That's probably the most heroic moment of the movie for him.
Oh my God!
I really
he
like
saved
that.
a bunch of kids.
Yeah, but he
Suffer
saved
the innocent
her.
children.
Suffer the innocent children.
And we also
Now choose. We are who we choose to be. Every single line delivery is so good. I'm sorry.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
I genuinely
Peter,
might put.
don't
Sorry
tell
for
Harry.
circling back. I genuinely might put Green Goblin as like top. He might be on my Mount Rushmore of superhero movie villains.
Ooh.
Do you take into account his second appearance as Green Goblin?
It doesn't hurt it. Put it that way. I mean, I think he might be there off this movie alone, but I think he might be the best part of that movie too.
Technically,
think
that's
it
his
was.
No Way Home.
third appearance anyway.
It is technically. I like him when he shows up for one scene in the second one. Yeah.
Okay. Third.
God,
like
Willem's
2.5.
just.
I think okay. I mean, the obvious one that people will say is Ledger Joker. I will accept that. I mean, and then people will say Thanos, which
Yeah. And then people say
I'd say that I would honestly, I
guy
never had really thought it before. I would
from
really put Goblin right there
Wakanda Forever.
at 3 or 2
Oh,
with
Killmonger.
Thanos. Killmonger is just. I mean, I
The guy
like
from
Michael B. Jordan,
Wakanda
and I like
Forever.
Killmonger as a character. He is just no way he's touching my Mount Rushmore.
What'd you
no
say?
the fish guy. That's what they say.
Namor.
Yeah.
Namor.
That's who I hear as number 3.
You know who actually might be my 4th guy is Jack Nicholson's Joker. I might have 2 Jokers on my Mount Rushmore.
I might put Paul Dano, Riddler, up there.
Might be too new to say.
I don't know. Some of his line deliveries, I felt like he was doing a bit too much.
For murder.
Like when in his having to watch him get on live stream and be like, "Hey chat." So like that was I don't know.
I thought
That was so
He's
real
so
of him.
incel. I mean, he's believable. He's just so incel-y. It's just hard to. I don't know. I don't
On
like
that
watching as much
note-
as these other ones.
Let's move on to the awards section.
Award season.
The awards season. Oh, go back. Sorry. Does anyone want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
You know, when I hear those bongos play, I know it's game time. Danny Elfman's score in this
So
movie.
it's game time.
I think I've been in the car with Zach, and we have randomly turned on the opening track to this movie. It is so good. This entire score is so good. It's whimsical, but it also brings in some dread, and also it's heroic. And that is
It is so heroic. Yeah.
It's so fucking heroic.
Whoa.
There's a part in the
Say
main
your
theme.
MVP.
Yeah, Danny Elfman.
Yeah, he was also my number 1 choice too, Cole. A lot of drums. When those bongos kick in,
It's game
man,
time.
Does he do the other movies, or is he just on this one?
He does all of them.
I think so. But also, even the quieter, peaceful moments are really pretty and kind of calming.
The little
goblin
piano
theme. Yeah, the goblin theme is really, really kind of creepy. That does its job really well. But like, I think of like specific moments, like after he's starting to pick up that he has powers and he wants to climb the wall for the first time, and like each like brass hit is like timed with him like putting his hand on the wall, and then like once he like actually starts crawling, the music like goes with it. I love that scene, and also when he's the music when Uncle Ben dies and then he starts going after the bad guy. The music there is great, and he right when he does his first web, and it's like, okay, am I about to start web swinging? That music there and the build up to that anticipation. Also, I don't know, it makes the most of those moments. We're standing on ceremony really well with the Danny Elfman music in those moments, and I genuinely might say it just might be. It just, in terms of a main theme, I think it really might be my favorite superhero movie.
I like how Zach has talked more during my MVP than I did.
Well, because I had a whole section in my notes called Elfman's theme, and Corey just said, I'm not going to ask if you guys have anything else, I'm just going to move on. So I didn't have a chance to bring up my whole note part there, so I was going to jump on it right there. So that's why. But
who's
That's
next?
called podcasting. I'll go. My MVP is Willem Dafoe. Ow!
my top two
Yeah.
out away from me.
That was my backup.
As much as I said negatives about Tobey McGuire, and I found I honestly think that those were my only gripes with the movie. But whenever Willem Dafoe was on screen, whenever Green Goblin was on screen, I really was enjoying myself, and I thought he was a great villain. The way he was portrayed, I know Willem Dafoe didn't have too much of a decision in that. Like we talked about him, slowly coming with the black smoke behind him, and all the different things he does to be kind of a scarier villain. But even when he was just on screen himself, he could have been scary on his own. He didn't really need all that other stuff. And I just think he was great. And he was only in one movie. It was the first one. And you still think about him to this day. And the new Spider-Man still couldn't escape him. And I think that's more of the fans clamoring for him because he was so good than anything else. And so I think that speaks to just the overall performance in this movie that he had. So Willem Dafoe is my MVP for Spider-Man 2002.
Cool.
Okay.
I guess this won't be surprising, but I'll...
1977?
You know what? I'm playing a bit of the strategy game of can't reuse guys.
Mm-hmm.
Joe
that's a
Manganiello
tough-
as Flash Thompson.
Yes. Someone.
I wouldn't want to pick me neither.
Mary Jane.
I saw the edit with
leather.
Flash, or it was a thing of just Thanos, and at the end of the game, I don't want to fight you, Flash, and he's just standing there in a portal, I wouldn't want to fight me neither. That was fun, but
That was fun. There you go.
Good times.
yeah, okay, I'm gonna. This is tough, man. I'm gonna go David Koepp for the script, for all the things we were talking about with the pacing and all that.
Jurassic Park's David Koepp, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Is that right? Interesting.
Also, Jurassic Park or Jurassic World Rebirth, David Koepp.
Oh, he wrote
well.
that one. I haven't seen
Well,
that.
that was a mistake.
I haven't seen that film. Whoa, art is never a mistake, Cole.
Yeah. Either way, great script. I think it is really efficient, like we were talking about, and it's got humor, but not too much humor, like that where it's distracting or something. It blends seamlessly, like we talk about how we'd like it to do in movies like this, and apparently he was working off James Cameron's treatment, but the changes he made that I think did it for the better. He's the one who made Goblin the primary. He swapped in Goblin as the primary antagonist, where I think it was Electro and Sandman, I think, in Raimi's treatment, according to the infallible Wikipedia. But
Now you said treatment twice now.
treatment's it's not a full script, but it's like a multiple page
30 to 60.
there's not a hard line, but honestly, sometimes usually less than that. It's just a much.
Like
It's
the
a
bare
not.
bones
It's
of a
pretty much
movie.
one thing. Yeah, it's just not the script. It's not all the way fleshed out with all the dialogue and all the beat for beat action things. But it pretty much breaks down everything that happened as the characters, themes, whatever, aesthetic. All that's part of the treatment, and that's what James Cameron had done, and David Koepp worked off that. And I think that's what we got here. I think is just it's a bit of a template for going forward for superhero movies, especially origin stories for that. And it gave something for Sam Raimi to work off of. And obviously, I didn't pick Sam Raimi here because I'm strategizing a bit because of our hard and fast rule that we can only pick.
Picking him for the third, my good man.
Zach, you can go.
I
go
call
first.
going first on the third
Yeah.
one. I call going first when we get to Spider-Man 3 for
I was gonna say you
MVPs.
can go. You can go first next time.
I like
No.
being evil.
Okay. Yeah, Topher Grace
It makes
MVP for
me
Spider-Man.
happy.
Yeah, great.
On to the review section.
Comic booky without being too comic booky. Maybe because it was scared to go there. 4.25 out of 5.
Just felt kind of negative, and then you give it a 4.25.
Speaking of negative, be very, very afraid. Our newcomer is big, strong, mean, and green. He is. Hey, what do you go by again? Green Goblin? That sucks. Please welcome Gobby. 3.75 out of 5.
Wow.
3.75 out of 5? Out of 5?
Out of 10, actually. Corey said, I want to do this out of 10, but...
It's you who's out, Gabby.
Stop saying it like that. That's not the read. Out of your
Okay.
mind.
Top superhero movie theme ever. Top 3 superhero movie villain ever. And I'm going to say a top 10 superhero movie ever in general. 4.25 out of 5. I'll break my rule and match Cole.
Whoa! I thought that's what the announcement was going to be. When at the beginning of the episode, I thought the announcement was going to be, I'm breaking my rule for all 3 of them or something like that.
You know, maybe I will.
Whoa. 4.75 inbound.
No, I wouldn't.
I
That's keep in mind, that's how good Captain America Civil War is. So
That's right.
I think
I
it's
would've-
4.5, but, you know.
I think you gave it 4.75.
You get
Cole. I
Cole
really
thinks
think
Civil
you-
War is 4.75, better than Infinity War and Dark Knight Rises. That's
I
what I
never
wrote down.
said Dark Knight Rises. I did say it.
Yes, you did. I wrote down.
You wrote it down? You know what,
think Civil War is
Corey?
better than this movie, Cole.
It's you who's out. Out of your mind.
It's you who's out, Cobby. I don't know. I was trying to put my name into
It's
it.
you your name is Corey. Your name works better than either of us.
On to the post-credit scene.
What you guys been
Corey, I really do
watching?
like how you worked in the Bruce Campbell cameo into your review section.
You like
there.
that?
I get chills during that part of the movie. Just oh, that sucks or whatever.
Human spider? That sucks.
God, that sucks. Yeah. The amazing. That part's awesome.
I saw Fantastic Four since the last time.
Hey,
It's
so
been a
did I.
while. I saw the Fire and Ash trailer for the first time. That means
very good movie.
made me excited. I did not see the Odyssey teaser, and I have not looked it up.
It's really,
I've also
really not
been-
missing much there.
Poor.
I know, but I just want to hear John Bernthal checks notes. Eat
That's the
every
best part.
line. Is that what you said, Cole?
Dude, he's fucking great in the trailer. Him monologuing.
Odysseus. How does he say it? I don't know how he
That
talks.
sounded more like Saw Gerrera the way you said that.
Odysseus.
What will you do when they catch you? What will you do when they break you?
That's pretty cool. I like that. Other things, rewatching Peacemaker, the new episode. 1 episode? 2 episodes, Cole?
One
How many
episode
episodes?
tonight.
The new episode comes out tonight, it sounds like, so I'll be watching that tomorrow. But yeah, I really haven't been watching too much else. It's kind of just been, it's a busy bee. But I feel like I said that last time, so that's lame. So I'm going to try to watch more movies for next time.
Well,
I want to talk about weapons.
I saw Weapons with Zach, and before the
I saw
movie,
that.
Zach said, "Suck me," and I said,
Whoa!
Cole was. If you want to hash out in theater behavior on the pod, we can.
I
I'd
did
be happy
scream,
to talk
"What
about
the
it.
fuck?" because I was like baffled by a certain scene.
Cole was out here just cursing in the movie. The cursing that he does on the podcast was present out loud in the theater.
Oh, you can't take your pod persona out into the real world, Cole. But did you guys like Weapons?
Cole was doing a lot of very audible reactions. There was definitely a couple scenes where Cole was the only one laughing as well.
Cole, what movie did you and I see?
Mission Impossible.
That's right.
And Corey was very facially like.
I get that a lot.
Corey was like grabbing my arm, like so stressed through the last Mission Impossible. He was like grabbing my arm, like he was so stressed out.
That's like your dad did when we saw Force Awakens.
Yeah, and but I also watched The Monkey. Oz Perkins, The Monkey. I actually
is that the one
really
about the British singer?
That's The Monkeys.
No, it's Spiderman.
The Monkeys. Oh yeah,
that's
okay.
Right. No, you guys are talking about two different things.
Yeah, Zach, what have you watched outside of Weapons?
I really only.
What was your thoughts on Weapons?
Yeah, I liked it. I like it a lot. It's actually kind of sat very well with me to the point where I think I'm re-seeing it next week with my my roommate who hasn't seen it yet. So I'm looking forward to that.
I think I'm gonna see it with my roommate.
What else have I seen besides? I already talked about The Gift, which I watched last night.
Yeah, we talked about that. It's been a while since we recorded. I was kind of expecting more.
Well, there is.
Has anybody else watched Alien Earth?
No,
I'm
that's
watching it
next
tonight.
on the list.
Starting it tonight.
Once I finish Peacemaker, I'm gonna move on to Alien Earth.
I saw Naked Gun.
Oh,
with Liam Neeson.
How was it?
It was funny. It was a funny movie. I laughed. I was.
Are the liberals gonna hate it? Are the liberals gonna absolutely hate it?
There is definitely like one joke that's kind of I don't know. It is really funny. I think it is really funny. I mean, the main thing is that Liam Neeson is not playing like a great guy or anything, but that's part of the joke of like some of the stuff he does.
Frank Drebin is not a great guy.
This is Frank Drebin Jr.
Yeah, but I highly doubt they'd write his son. And also, I want to see it just because I heard they like did like the way they pitched the movie was he like came out and he's like doing his thing, and then he starts talking to the Paramount executives. And he goes, "Yes, I'm talking to you, Paramount. You better greenlight this movie." And he was doing all those PSAs like save comedy. Like I love the way they marketed the movie. I thought that was incredibly fun.
Marketing has been very good for the movie. I also watched Thelma and Louise, which I had not seen. That was a lot of. I loved it. I think it's like a great
Zach
modern
looked at
Western.
me and he goes, "I'm going to do this with Corey."
What
I did
is
not watch
Thelma
Thelma and Louise
and
with Cole,
Louise?
so that's not.
Thelma and Louise.
Careful, Corey. Be careful.
Be very careful.
Why?
It's just don't spoil it for yourself.
Oh.
Brad
Well, I was
Pitt.
trying to see what you would be doing with me.
See, well, that's what you should probably not be looking up what happens in Thelma and Louise.
Ah, okay. I don't know how to watch it.
What are we covering next, boys?
Oh, Cole, great question. We will be covering Spider-Man 2, and that will be streaming on Disney Plus. At least as of now, it is streaming on Disney Plus. So go check that out in preparation for next time. And you know what? If you're just craving it, we're covering the next Spider-Man, Spider-Man 3, right after that. So feel free to just watch those back to back if you are just so inclined. But if you want to take a little bit of a break, you can also do that. But those are the next two movies that we will be covering, so you can start getting ready for that. Again, those are both on Disney Plus, and so was this one. I don't think we mentioned that at the outskirts of last episode, so I want to make sure we mention that now. But if you made it all the way to the end, I'm sure you don't care at this point anymore. You're like, whatever. But yeah, so that's what we're covering next. That's kind of a little bit of a look ahead. We don't have too far planned out. So yeah, I mean, if you are a listener and you have a franchise that you want to cover, that you want us to talk about, let us know. You know, if you're close with us, you could text us. You could text us. We don't care. If you're not close with us, or you are, and you just really don't want to talk to us, you just want to leave a comment or a cat or something like that, or chat or DM us on Instagram or TikTok or on YouTube or whatever. Feel free. Just let us know. I have gotten requests that we do for February of next year. We do a trilogy done by either a black director or a predominantly black cast for Black History Month. And we were requested that last year. And so
I think Zach said no.
You know what I do. Here's the thing. I remember bringing it up.
I wanted to do Jordan Peele.
We did Creed, didn't we?
Yeah, we did Creed.
Oh, so I went back and I looked, and during February, we released all the Ghostbusters, which is close. It's close.
Ernie Hudson.
Which is what I told my good friend, who wanted me to cover, who doesn't listen to the podcast, who wanted me to cover something specifically for him. So yeah. So we can sit on that. I don't know. That's really far in the future. But again, if you have anything,
December,
anything,
I got
we are
something
open
fun
to it.
for November and December.
Avatar.
Knives Out. The trilogy ends
When's
on
the third
December 12th.
Okay.
I vote Avatar,
Actually,
but we could do that too.
We've
I
still
was gonna
got
say, like, a
movies
Christmas
coming out at Avatar.
Yeah,
Cool.
but that one we're going to
I
be
mean,
doing it every 2 years.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Sure.
Zach, we're going to be doing this forever. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll see you for the Avatar. We'll do all the Avatars when 5 comes out in 2029.
Well, on that positive note, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching along, and just keep watching movies.
See ya.